So without further ado, I'd like to start the Branding Yourself presentation. This is brought to you by Career and Talent Development. And let me know if you have any questions as we go, but if you want to hold on to your questions to the end, that would be best. So my name is Jissel Muir, and I'm a career advocate for the Engineering Computing College, and this is Branding Yourself. So to begin, this is our vision, mission, policy, and disability disclaimer for our department and offices. If you guys have ever had any presentation with us, you'll know that FIU and Career and Talent Development have a shared vision, and we provide students and alumni with World Ahead programs, resources, and we try to help you guys identify your career goals as best as possible. We try to address them with all the needs of the workforce at this time, and provide equal opportunities without regard to race, color, religion, etc. And if there are any individuals with disabilities that are requesting any kind of accommodations, we always try to make sure that we put you guys in the correct places with the resources you need, depending on the careers you're looking for. So if you guys ever have a question about our offices or how we can help you with any of these things, feel free to just go on fiu.joinhandshake.com, create an appointment, and see a career coach. So the learning objectives for this presentation are to identify the 6 steps of activating your brand, understanding the techniques of branding yourself, and creating an action plan to promote that brand. Some of our career readiness competencies include critical thinking, problem solving, oral written communications, career management, digital technology, teamwork and collaborations, leadership, professionalism, and work ethic, as well as global intercultural fluency, which is one of the most recently added competencies to this list. And as you guys can tell with Florida International University, sorry about that, with Florida International University being a very diverse community, we really try to target this one to differentiate ourselves from other communities. So the next thing is really breaking down these competencies so you guys understand that the workforce and recruiters are looking at all these different aspects within each candidate. And what that means is that you want to have those oral and written communications really effectively helping you to work in groups, whether it's to articulate ideas in written or oral manners, or also in your public speaking skills, so you can express yourself as best as possible in your workplace, and then also be able to, create clear reports and manage those communications, as well as career management, which is really helping you articulate those strengths and experiences to help you navigate and explore the job options, as well as understanding how to take action to pursue those opportunities with an understanding of that self-advocacy, which really plays into effect with your branding. And then the professional work ethic aspect is more so demonstrating your personal accountability, as well as those effective work habits that you may have, which could be different from other people's. And you can also really show how you can make an impact with those nonverbal communication skills that you may have through this, as well as showing your integrity and ethical behavior. So we'd like to ask, what makes a consumer buy one product over another, as well as what makes one job seeker much more sought after than others? Does anybody have an answer for this? Okay, so basically, as you can see, these are some of the companies that do a good job at really standing out and making their products, I guess, more desirable than others. And this is really based on how people brand themselves, how the companies brand themselves. And all these stand out in their own way because of their brand and what they're doing to make sure that they're, bringing in their audience. So I'm wondering if anybody is putting anything up on the chat. I do want to check that real quick while we're at it, if that's okay, just to see if anybody has responded to this question. So yeah, Sarah Lee mentioned branding and experiences that they have with each other or each brand. So that would be pretty much correct. And some of the, wait 1 second. Okay, some of the next things that I want to mention are the 6 steps to activating that brand, which is defining who you are and what you want to be, as well as defining where you want to go, investing in yourself, saying yes to opportunities, documenting your wins and losses or losses, and putting yourself out there. So to break this down, we want to see how branding helps define you and explain that this is all broken down through the process of knowing that your reputation matters and building a name for yourself, as well as putting your strengths out there, mentioning what your values are. This could also be a way of showcasing what sets you apart from others and describing the added value you bring to a situation. So how you are an asset to a company would be part of how you're branding yourself, as well as developing that image with results to match that company. So what makes up your personal brand? And this is your education, any skills, traits, abilities, experiences, knowledge and interests that you may have, or activities that you are involved with, as well as any peer or supervisor opinions and recommendations that you may get. There's also the online and the offline activity that you may be involved with, and what you post and what others post about you really makes a difference on your personal branding, because you want to have really good reviews and consumer outlooks on what you bring to the table, your product, your brand, your services. And then your social media profiles and interactions can also be a part of what make up your personal brand, because if you're very frequently on social media, you have a big social media presence, then your Facebook, your Google accounts, your LinkedIn, your Twitter are all very crucial to your brand, as well as maybe having an elevator pitch where if you're networking and you're in person, you're capable of showing that person you're having a conversation with who you are, what you stand for, what you do, what you're promoting. And your resume, your cover letter, and any other kind of applications are also part of your personal brand in a way, because it's helping you put your name out there. Another thing is how you dress, your appearance, and your style. So if you want to consider how your personal brand would look, you want to also think like you want to dress the part. And that also means that if you have any like logos, marketing, or business cards, you want to bring them up and you want them all to be very cohesive. So if you already have a style set in mind for your personal brand, you want to make sure that you are being consistent with it wherever you're posting anything, whatever you're creating, your content, and really pushing that brand out there. So this can be done through a portfolio, a video resume, digital or print media. Another thing that we like to do are, help you question how you would define your brand. So what topics can you talk about endlessly that would be essential to you, who you are, or your brand? Another thing would be what's the best part of your job that you love the most that you can bring up as well. You can also ask yourself, what do you do better than anyone else? And this would help you stand out. If you were to receive an award, what would it be? How do your peers describe you? And what most strongly sets you apart from your peers? You can also ask yourself what your story is. And these are just the first questions that would probably help you start building that foundation for defining that brand. So you can ask yourself, should I be wanting more? Do I have goals that focus in on the things that truly matter? What are the problems in the world that I want to solve? What is my cause? And then I could go back to this, but I would be sharing this presentation with you. So you guys are going to have all these questions. Unless you want to stop real quick and take a picture of this, you're more than welcome to. So I'll take a couple seconds and then move on, just in case. Great. So the next thing would be defining where you want to go, is definitely helping you reflect on those past experiences that you may have, any academic journeys you've taken, or that big dream that you have in the future. So looking back on the past, working towards the future, questioning how you can evaluate your current role in yourself to build that personal brand. What is that you want to accomplish? Do I want to try a new industry? Do I want to work at a different organization? Or do I want to pursue another graduate degree? This is also something that you can start questioning now while you're an undergrad student. And if you have a work-life balance, if you don't, what would that look for you? Where does retirement fit into your goal setting? And would you want to work on different projects or make more money? This is also something you want to question, as salaries can range quite differently depending on what role you decide on, or even depending on your brand. Your brand could really push you outside of that box or outside of that salary limitation. So are you open to relocation would probably be one of those next steps that a recruiter would typically ask you when you're networking, when you're at a career fair or at an event. And I would suggest you would always want to be open to relocation, because you never know what kind of endless possibilities or opportunities might come to you. So moving on, we would like to create a trail. This means that you can make a list of what's important to you by setting goal destinations, as well as thinking about the time frame to have that goal accomplished. You want to make sure that you're creating a list of those top 5 strengths and 5 values and write down SMART goals. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. This means that you want to know, what do you want to do? How will you know when you've reached it? Is it in your power to accomplish it? Can you realistically achieve it? And when exactly do you want to accomplish it? So once you start to break down the answers to the SMART goals that you set out for yourself, you want to schedule these goals so that you can really make sure you are going to achieve them, that they're tangible and realistic, right? So then you would review this progress. Every now and then I would like follow up with myself and really try to see, am I targeting these goals or not, and what can I be doing differently, right? The next thing is investing in yourself. So you want to make sure that you have partners that keep you accountable, people who give you feedback, mentors, people who push you outside of those limitations and maybe trying new things, getting new skills under your belt, doing more training certifications, or even like seminars, getting some resume updates or even resume critiques done. So we can definitely help you with that at Career and Talent Development, as well as expanding your social media content and your social media presence by making sure that you are on the sites that are best for you and for your audience, your product, and your service. And then take the time to nurture your network, follow up with people, reach out to new people, and make an effort to initiate conversations that you would otherwise probably be uncomfortable making, but would push you to learn more and grow. So if you see someone on social media that is doing what you want to do, ask them, how are you doing this? I just have a question and I really want to expand and invest in myself. So could I learn from you? Maybe ask them to be your mentor. And if you get shut down, that's perfectly fine. Move on to the next person. And if they say yes, well, then you make sure that you stick by that person and you continue to push yourself to ask questions and show them your progress. And I'm sure that that's going to create a wonderful relationship and you learn so much more from it. So another thing you can do is put yourself out there by making sure you are conducting research, writing those papers that would probably put you out there, and that could mean you're publishing reports. And if you're in a technical field, that can go a long way, especially if you're doing research-related studies and things like that, or getting involved with research centers. That would be really helpful. And if you're doing anything related to like medicine, oh, for sure. Another thing is submitting those proposals to present them at conferences, and you can put this on your resume. You can also serve as an expert for reporters and check out HARO, which we can look into that later. And then write an article on LinkedIn if possible. This is also something that you can either do as a post or you can publish something on your LinkedIn site. And then you can also do this like frequently if you wanted to start practicing your writing technical skills and also just your ability to reflect on important topics that people might be interested in, and especially your followers on LinkedIn. And then you can repost things that are interesting to you that can be seen across your platform so that people have a better understanding of what matters to you, as well as interviewing experts in your area, in your industry, to write about it. So if you want to interview and then create articles about what you're learning from them, I'm sure that would really give a great impression to that person and also to your audience. And then creating a YouTube channel or podcast could be another step if you feel very comfortable doing so. If you like being on video, if you like recording yourself and expressing your thought. A lot of times, our generation is very capable of putting themselves out there with all the different kind of apps that we're used to. So if you feel comfortable doing so, this is definitely another way to reflect on your own, learn, and build more knowledge on those topics that you already have curiosity for, as well as helping you create that brand for yourself. And this is also something you'd be able to put on a resume or talk about an interview with a cover letter, or even as part of like what you're publishing, even if it's like a blog. And most importantly, believe in yourself and be authentic. People love, those that stand out because they're doing their own thing and persevering. Another thing would be documenting your wins and your losses, because as a leader, if you keep a journal of the moments where you do something you put all your effort into and you do really well, you can learn a lot from like what you do. And then there's times where you might not always succeed. So you want to make sure like where did I maybe not do my best, and reflect on your failure as well, because you can learn so much from your mistakes. And then block out some time on your calendar to make that time for reflection and creative thinking. And this is a time where you can definitely ask yourself these three things. So 3 things that you're grateful for that day, that week, or that month. You can also journal 3 things I did well today, this week, or this month, and 3 things that I've learned today, this week, or this month. So like every week or every month or even every day, you can try to journal these 3 things that you're either grateful for, have done well, or learned. And I think that that would be a great motivator, also towards your goals, and just to build up your confidence in what you're doing and what you could do. The next thing could be saying yes to an opportunity. So wherever you see yourself being asked to go to an event or talk to someone or do something new, feel free to, even if you're uncomfortable, get comfortable with the uncomfortable and kind of push yourself out there. It's really the only way to grow, and challenges are always welcomed as opportunities. A lot of times you're going to have to teach yourself a lot of things in the field, and if you're closed off to learning or that opportunity, you might not realize how easy or approachable it could have been. So you want to make sure you're at least trying, and then you want to make sure you're networking and building those relationships with people. So it's a lot about word of mouth, what people hear about you, and that's why your reputation matters as well. And it starts with you. So you definitely want to initiate these things, and you want to make those conversations, and people will then talk about you and talk to others, and you may never know who hears about you and then reaches out to you. So this is very important because your network, like your family, your friends, coworkers, classmates, professors, supervisors, neighbors, and associates, as well as anyone on the internet, if you have a public account, will learn about you through this network. Some common challenges include pretending to be someone you're not, ignoring feedback from others, doubting yourself, rejection, lack of goal setting and planning, and lack of accountability. So if you are missing some motivation and you are, facing these challenges, you want to ask yourself, like, why would I want to pretend to be someone else? Who am I? And really reflect on who you are, because your brand is about you. It's not about who you are pretending to be or who you want to be. Sometimes it could be who you want to be, but in the sense that you're getting there and you're working towards it. And then sometimes it's about receiving feedback so that you know where you can become the person you want to be or the person you say you are. And you also want to make sure that if you're doubting yourself, you're breaking down that doubt. So what are you doubting? Why are you doubting yourself? What's that lingering thought that you're holding on to that's making you suffer? Because if you doubt yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to push yourself forward. And you want to kind of cut that out as soon as possible, because the first thing in making sure that people believe in your brand is believing in yourself and believing in your brand as well. So you also want to be able to handle rejection, because it's not going to be every time that someone's going to love what you're doing or what service you're offering, but that's okay, because as long as you believe in it, you can go for it. And then making sure that you are setting the goals and the plans to achieve what you hope to be, and that brand is, definitely gonna keep you accountable, and you have to be responsible. So you might face these challenges, but you have to persevere. And then you want to control this brand. So you want to ask yourself, are you the same person across all your platforms? And are your messages and brand consistent? If you have a digital footprint, anything that you upload or post yourself will definitely make an impact on your audience. So you want to make sure that what you're posting is true to you. And your digital shadow is basically anything that others post about you. So if people are posting about you, you want to make sure that it's also consistent with your brand. And let's say someone posts something that's regarding you, but it doesn't go with your brand. And if you don't like it, you can always ask them, hey, can you please put this down? Like, I don't agree with the post you've shared about me with other people, and handle that through a decent professional conversation. And then others may have the same name as you. So you want to make sure that you're also standing out in case that's the issue you're having with getting confused with someone else. So if your brand is unique, you shouldn't have this problem. So those SMART goals that we talked about earlier, those specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals are definitely something you want to start with from the beginning to set that platform up. And what makes you stand out is typically different depending on the person, you know. So Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, actually said that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. And I think some of you guys might agree with this. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, said that design is not just what it looks like and feels like, design is how it works. And then Howard Schultz, CEO of Starbucks, said if people believe they share values with the company, they will stay loyal to the brand. Warren Buffett, investor and philanthropist, said it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about it, you'll do things differently. So you have to think about it. If you're thinking about what Buffett said, you have to put time, planning, preparation into it, because like he said, it really only takes 5 minutes to ruin it. So anything that you guys need help with when it comes to branding, you can always come to Career and Talent Development and we can try to help you out. These were some of the upcoming events that we had on Handshake posted, and I know it's like very overwhelming, so you'll see this, I'll just move on. But if you guys needed help with any kind of branding content that you're trying to develop, you can always come to us. Our office hours used to be like this for our in-person time, but now that we're virtual, we do have drop-in sessions, which we particularly, we do a lot of resume critiques and help people with applications and stuff like that during those hours. But if you ask about branding, we can also try to help you with that, and that's no problem. Just make sure that you come with some kind of report on like what you've already done, so that we know, you know, what we can help you target and improve on. So if you go to fiu.joinhandshake.com, you will see our drop-in hours under events. You can also check the calendar to see the availability for our career coaches. And if you're in engineering computing, your career coach is Joe Jutan. That's my supervisor. He's very helpful. He's the only career coach we have in college, really. So he loves helping students, and he sees all of you guys. You can definitely just schedule an appointment with him and he'd be happy to talk about this. But if you guys have any questions, you can always call our departments and then leave a message and we can try to get back to you. But I think the best way right now is email communication. So email Joseph. If you guys don't have his email, I can share it with you guys. And if not, you can definitely find his contact information on Handshake or on career.fiu.edu's FIU Career and Talent Development site. That's where you'll find some handouts and resources about everything we can help you guys with. So I'm seeing that we might have some chat messages now. Okay, thank you, Alejandro. You just posted his email address. So perfect. That's exactly what you guys will need to reach us moving forward. And if you guys have any more questions, let me know now.
Yeah, it was a great presentation, especially the part where you need to write down your plans. More often than not, people always have great ideas in mind, and we all live this life. Everyone thinks they have unlimited potential, which they do. But at the end of the day, if you don't take action on it, then it's just wasted. So, and it's something magical that only happens when you put it on paper.
Correct. Exactly. You said it well. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for having me. If you have any further questions, you can also email me. I'll put my email in the chat, and I'd be happy to help you as well. So I work normally Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 5 p.m. So if you ever have a question, you can email me at that time, and I'd be more than happy to help.
Sounds great. Hope everyone was able to learn something from this presentation and can apply these concepts into your own personal life, so you can maximize your efficiency and maximize your image, out project to what you say to others, because that outward message is just as important as the message we each tell ourselves.
Exactly.
Also, guys, please remember to log into the form that we put in the chat, so your attendance counts.
Well, it was nice to meet all of you guys. Thank you so much for having me. And let us know if you would like another special event with Career and Talent Development. Just reach out to Joseph and we'd be happy to host another one. Thank you.
Thank you, Jissel, and take care.
Bye-bye.